What's up, guys and girls? Welcome to another video. This video is going to be about Wolverine, who a lot of fans believe just got teased at Summer Games Fest. At Summer Games Fest, we had an interview with Jeff Keighley and with someone that works on the game, and this clip pretty much dropped.
And what's better than all of the Marvel characters that live in New York City? So Peter, Miles, and others. He's on the hunt.
And others, ...
Yes.
So a ton of fans and a ton of news outlets have taken this as Wolverine kinda just got teased to be in the game. We know that Insomniac is working on... What's up, guys and girls? Welcome to another video. This video is going to be about Wolverine, who a lot of fans believe just got teased at Summer Games Fest. At Summer Games Fest, we had an interview with Jeff Keighley and with someone that works on the game, and this clip pretty much dropped.
And what's better than all of the Marvel characters that live in New York City? So Peter, Miles, and others. He's on the hunt.
And others, ...
Yes.
So a ton of fans and a ton of news outlets have taken this as Wolverine kinda just got teased to be in the game. We know that Insomniac is working on Marvel Spider-Man 2 and the Wolverine game pretty much at the same time, very similar to Miles Morales and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Now, I find this so freaking cool simply because the possibilities are kind of endless. We know about a ton of superheroes that currently live in New York during the Spider-Man game. There are the Avengers and Avengers Tower, and when you get close, Spider-Man does say that at that time they are off in New York. They're going and doing something, I believe he said, on the West Coast. So that's pretty much confirming that they can make an appearance because they weren't there for the first events, but they can come back. There's also Daredevil. Daredevil has a ton of references in the Spider-Man game. You should definitely check out my video. I did a whole breakdown on every single reference of Daredevil, and there is like, what, 7 Daredevil references, including if you go in the collections tab in the first Spider-Man game, you can actually hear some dialogue of Peter saying that a blind lawyer came up to him and said, if Spider-Man ever needs a lawyer, here's my card. And then it's obviously the Nelson and Murdoch law firm card. And Peter questions this, saying, how did a blind guy figure out that I was Spider-Man? So you have Daredevil and you have the Avengers, and we of course know that Insomniac is working on a Wolverine game. Now let's go ahead and break this down. The positive side to this, and something that obviously makes it really impactful for Wolverine to make an appearance in the game, is the fact that putting Wolverine in a Spider-Man game, that will be promoting the Wolverine game coming out, right? Fans will play the game, see Wolverine, whatever happens in the game, and people are going to be excited about his next story because we know that it's happening. But on the flip side, I don't know if I want Wolverine to be in a Spider-Man game, because Spider-Man, I believe, is rated T for teen, and I think that a Wolverine game should be rated M for mature, you know, because Wolverine is a much more violent character, especially in the comics. I hate when I'm watching like a Wolverine show, and you guys can probably relate to this as well, and every time Wolverine fights an enemy that is a human, he puts his claws away because obviously he's a superhero. He can't go around just stabbing people unless he has a reason to. We've seen other very violent Wolverine games with blood, and those are rated M, and those did very well with fans. Fans love those games because Wolverine is a violent character and Spider-Man just isn't. So part of me is worried that if you put Wolverine in a Spider-Man game, that's kind of hinting that the Wolverine game might be rated T, and I hope that's just not the case. But the fact is that Spider-Man and Wolverine have worked together in several different games. And I think one of the games that I really want to talk about is Web of Shadows. Web of Shadows, you can have 2 different paths. You can have a light path and a dark path. And on the light path, you deal with Wolverine a lot more than the dark path. But, you know, obviously, there were a lot of story things, such as Spider-Man ripping Wolverine apart. You know, he could either be a friend or a foe, which is pretty damn cool. And I find it very interesting that Venom was one of the main antagonists in Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Venom pretty much took over an entire city with his symbiote, and Wolverine helped you, and it was really cool to see those two together. And Venom is making an appearance obviously in Spider-Man 2. So Spider-Man and Wolverine in Web of Shadows, Spider-Man and Wolverine in Spider-Man 2, which makes really cool sense, right? I think that it will be very exciting to see how these two will interact. We do know that Disney, I believe, bought the X-Men characters,